You're recognized for 5 minutes.
From ensuring the Bureau of Ocean Management continues to follow the moratorium on Florida's offshore energy development to the Fish and Wildlife Services protection of critical marine species and their habitats, the Department of Interior plays a substantial role in my district and throughout the state of Florida. Florida beaches are vital to the success of our coastal communities and the protection of our wildlife. In 2021 alone, Florida's visitors contributed $101.9 billion to the local economy and supported nearly 1.7 million jobs. The moratorium on offshore energy development projects and Florida's beaches and wildlife from disasters like the 2010 BP oil spill and protects our national security interests as well as protecting our military readiness and training activities at Eglant's test ranges and complexes throughout the Jacksonville Range complex areas. Similarly, Florida's beaches are home to some of our most beloved marine wildlife, some of which are protected under the Endangered Species Act, but unfortunately, the erosion of Florida beaches puts many wildlife that are listed under the ESA at risk, making it necessary for routine coastal maintenance. For example, the Sand Key project in my district is up for renourishment, and the erosions of beaches like Sand Key can be devastating because it leaves infrastructure prone to flood damaging, which negatively impacts the local economy and also demolishes many habitats that endangered species and threatened wildlife rely on. In fact, the Sand Key project has directly impacted species like the loggerhead turtles, piping plover shorebirds, western Indian manatees, eastern backed rails, red knots, wood storks, and American crocodiles, all of which are federally classified as endangered or threatened species and reside in or around the Sand Key region. So with that being said, my question is for you, Secretary Haaland. The erosion of shorelines affecting natural resources, energy defense, public infrastructure, and tourism. How has the Department of Interior and Bureau of Ocean Management worked to address the erosion along our nation's coastal beaches, barrier islands, and wetlands?
Congresswoman, thank you. And first, I want to thank you for your care and concern about the marine life in your district and beyond Florida. I went to Florida and had a chance to be in the Everglades, and it really is a magical place. I can't, honestly, I'd be happy to get back with your staff about any specific programs that we have for coastal erosion in your area. And certainly, we're always happy to work with you on any ideas or projects that you would like to present to us. And we care deeply about these areas.
This next question is for anyone on the panel. How long does it typically take the Department of Interior or each bureau to provide the necessary permits for projects like Sand Key, where sand placement is critical to the restoration of endangered habitats?
As the Secretary said, we could provide statistics like that. I will say, as the former director of the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management, marine minerals and coastal restoration is one of the primary missions of BOEM, working with our partners, including the Army Corps, on those types of projects.
If I can just ask you a real quick question. So the Army Corps is giving us pushback, and they're failing to acknowledge that this is actually a very endangered habitat. So we need help on it because they're giving us some bureaucratic, nonsensical answer. And obviously, I think you guys might have a little bit of pull there, so we'd appreciate your help.
Well, I will reach out to Mike Connor at the Army Corps, who used to have my job. So
I'm
I
about
know
to
he
do
appreciates
protests.
our
I'm
mission.
not even kidding. I am about to go to the office and protest because it's nonsense. Okay, so is the Department of Interior or Bureau of Ocean Energy Management committed to following the offshore energy development moratorium on the Eastern Gulf? So as you know from Florida, I would bet you probably can't find a Florida rep that's going to want anything off our shores. I don't care what it is.
Thank you, yes.
Okay, good. I like to hear it. Thank you, guys. Chairman, I yield my time.
Gentlelady yields back. The chair recognizes the gentlelady from New Mexico, Ms. Stansberry. You're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I want to take this opportunity, like some of my colleagues have before me, to welcome our Madam Secretary and Deputy Secretary and Director Flanagan, who I had the pleasure